was told you were coming.
So, who do you kill for fun around?
If this girl gives him 1 minute of happiness, it is 1 minute too much.
Baby,
She's not Angel anymore.
I'm back.
Jeez.
I don't like vampires. I'll take a stand and say they're not good.
I feel like a candidate.
It's fucking
I
fantastic.
love that sound.
The ice cream bar's this way.
And we're back.
Welcome to Beer with Buffy. I'm Josh,
I'm Rex.
and today's episode is Season 2, Episode 7 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, entitled Lie to Me.
Yes. And welcome to my new apartment.
Rex got a new apartment.
You might notice our sound is probably a bit different. That's because there's not really a whole lot in my new apartment yet.
Don't apologize, Rex. This is a free podcast for now. So we're drinking some Guinness. It's been an eventful week for Rex.
Yep.
It's been an eventful week for me. Shit. Found out I have a child named after me.
I forgot about that. Fuck.
It's not my child, but there is a child
God.
named after me
Thank God you do not have a child.
on this planet. I don't have to pay child support, but funny story. At work, I run into this girl, and we both recognize each other immediately. and she's like, hey,
Oh my God.
Josh King, right? And I'm like, oh shit, she knew both names right off the bat. I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'm not gonna say her name for the sake
don't.
for the sake of privacy.
Yeah.
And so
It's bad enough you've already told the world her kid's name.
it's right. It's just a first name. There's a billion Joshes.
right.
Whatever. So she's like, but you're Josh King, right? And I'm like, yeah, like we went to high school together or something, right? She's like, yeah, I named my child after you. And I'm like, wait, what? I am not getting a DNA test. Fuck that.
And the results are, you are not the father.
I had one hand on my bug out bag and the other hand on my pistol. I was like, are you a cyborg? That sounds like something a cyborg would say. Getting a little itchy here, honey. So, my coworker, who's also my boss, was like, oh shit, Josh got a kid. He was...
You know, the thing is, and what I found particularly interesting here is the story's actually quite fucking touching.
It really is, though. It was a very touching story. Apparently, I introduced her to her future husband, and they were so irrationally grateful that I had inadvertently introduced them. I mean, frankly, I had a crush on her, and I was a little butthurt about the whole ordeal. I may have nice guys Andered it up a little bit. I'm a little ashamed of that, but you know, it all worked out. They got married. They lived happily ever after for 12 years. They're divorced now, but they were so happy to be together that they named their kid after me.
And the kid's lucky enough to not also have to look like you.
I know, right? Yeah, no, his dad's a very pretty man.
Good for him.
Much prettier than me.
He's stuck with your name, but he doesn't have your face.
Exactly, and that's fine. He's going to be just fine. I got to high five a child named after me. It was like, well, shit, you're here. Hey, man, high five for being named after
the
me.
Kid was there too?
He was. I met him.
I didn't realize you met the kid.
I met him. He was there. I was like, dude, high five for being named after me. Whoa.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So.
And weird.
That's fun.
And a little bit wrong. That poor kid.
Poor bastard. What's he gonna do?
Apparently he's gonna go through life named Josh, like every other fucking Josh.
No, he'll be fine. His dad had way less anxiety than me, I'm quite sure.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And then my week, I moved.
You moved.
This is our first time recording in the new apartment.
Yeah.
Our actual recording space is not set up yet.
Right. I mean, yes, it is, because we're recording in it right now.
No, come on, we got to at least be honest here, because once we have this new space, our sound quality, it will go through the roof.
So luckily, neither of us are dead because we found a couple of random dudes to help us move shit upstairs. We both would have died of heart attacks otherwise.
Yeah.
Or Rex would have fallen
man.
down the stairs from his knees giving out.
It's a really nice apartment, and it is only a second floor apartment, but fuck, this building has high ceilings.
Right?
That's 2 flights of stairs easy.
It is easily 2 flights of stairs. It's right next to your door, which is nice.
It's still.
Yeah.
Fuck moving. I don't want to move again, but I'm going to have to move again. I don't want to move again.
Why are you going to have to move again?
I mean, in like a year or so.
Not necessarily. I mean, isn't that kind of the hope every time you move, that it works out and it's a good spot to be in financially and physically?
I don't know.
So Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes, right. We're here to review Buffy.
How do you feel about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Rex?
I don't know. How does your mom feel about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Josh?
That is an excellent question. Joshua, are you reading your Anne Rice novels again?
Oh, God.
Anne Rice? No, I'm fucking watching TV, Mom. Yeah, I can tell. And you're not studying for your exams? Mom, I've been out of college for 10 years. And yet you're living in my house. You're eating my food. You don't have a full-time job. What is this annoying little shit doing in this episode? What's his name? Frodo? I mean, close enough. Yeah. It's almost like you're paying attention this time, Mom. Enough, anyway. Mr. Frodo! Oh, Sam.
Oh, God.
So in this episode, why are they all trapped in a basement? Well, if you'd been watching the first 35 minutes of the episode, you would know that Buffy's longtime 5th grade crush randomly showed up.
His name is Ford.
Ford shows up at Sunnydale. So Ford shows up at Sunnydale randomly. Xander's immediately jealous, and I'm like, shut up. Hopefully Mr. Sweater Vest can just put you in your place. And we can all
Mr. Sweater Vest.
we can all go home. And turns out he's evil and he dies. And Spike's awesome still.
Yep. Still awesome.
The end. My my tagline for the episode was no cameos from Tim Roth. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since the name of the episode was Lie to Me.
Yeah. And
Which
that show sadly was canceled.
Was it?
It was.
Those bastards.
I think it was only 2 seasons. Maybe like 2.5.
Oh, no, it was more than that.
No, it was 3 at the most. It wasn't anything more than 3.
But anyway,
They
it's
canceled
funny
that
because that show didn't actually come out until several years after Buffy stopped airing.
Yeah.
So
well after the fact.
This obviously has in no way any ties to that show.
I do want to say that this is one of their significantly better titlings for an episode.
Yeah, I was going to say it's based on one little throwaway line at the end of the episode.
But I mean, the whole episode deals with lying.
Oh, you're right, it does.
I mean, the whole episode. Angel lies to Buffy, and
yeah.
Like, well, everyone's fucking lying to Buffy, apparently.
Yeah. She definitely developed some serious trust issues.
Is this for me? I must be ready. I need my strength. Give me more!
Nights I shall walk in the earth. Hold on. You've got something in your eye.
Speaking of lying to Buffy, the very first thing that fucking happens in this episode is there's a little kid for some reason in the middle of the fucking night in a park waiting for his mom.
Yeah, he's
and Drusilla comes up.
First of all, he's like, Mom's always late. And I'm like, she's not late, kid.
She abandoned your ass.
At this point, she's like doing heroin somewhere. Yeah. You might want to check the bushes or something.
But Drusilla comes up. Drew's all super creepy.
Deliciously creepy.
Yes. Angel steps in and tells the kid to run home. Now, I have to... Where the fuck did that kid go? Because obviously he was waiting for his mom to pick him up, so he's not within running distance of home.
Right? You know what, kid? Your mom wasn't coming anyway.
That kid's now homeless.
Now we know where they come from.
Yeah.
Small children at parks. They become the homeless, apparently.
But Drew and Angel are talking and kind of flirting a little bit. Drew's kind of flirting with Angel.
Yeah, it's very much like, oh, the plot thickens.
Yeah. And of course, Buffy is there to see it from a distance.
Well, before...
Why the fuck is she on a rooftop randomly?
How many rooftops were directly next to the middle of the park, by the way?
Yeah.
But
seriously.
before that, so this interaction between Angel and Drusilla was very much like, it begs the question, not only what's his history with Drew, it kind of makes it sound like, although he's not on Drew and Spike's side, it sounds like he's still playing an angle against humans like he has some sort of ulterior motive going on.
In their conversation, something actually gets brought up because he threatens to kill Drew.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you won't do that. And he's like, no, I won't. He's killed vampires before, though.
Sure.
So what the hell? He can't kill Spike or Drew? Why is all of a sudden he moralistic to that point?
Right. Well, then they cover that a little bit. They get into the history of that. Obviously, I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but I think it's one of those things we're just going to have to accept throughout Buffy the Vampire Slayer is that
I guess
Angel, his soul feels guilty for what the demon in him did, which makes no sense because he
really
had
doesn't.
nothing to do with it.
It really doesn't make any sense. Like, in his position, as best as I can put myself in his position.
Right.
In his position, I think my stance would be, I have a soul now. I didn't have a soul then. So, I can get him being haunted by those memories. That would be fucking horrible. But not so guilty, but he had no fucking control.
Right, but it's clear that they're trying to pass it off like he can't kill Spike because he sired him. He can't kill Drew. He also sired Drew. They established
Which we learn in this episode.
In this episode.
In the most fucked up way possible.
Yeah, after
but we'll get there.
Mentally torturing her. But anyway, so Buffy spies on them and she's like, oh no.
And she's standing behind Angel and Drew leans in really close and whispers to Angel so it looks like they're making out or some shit.
Aren't vampires supposed to have super smell? Shouldn't they have been able to smell her a mile away?
I don't know. But then it goes to opening credits.
Maybe I'm thinking a different universe of vampires. I don't know.
They're all over the map with the exact powers of the Slayer, the exact powers of the vampires. Who fucking knows?
Anyway,
they go to opening credits.
Opening sequence.
And then we go to Giles and Miss Calendar, and they're talking about a surprise date that Miss Calendar wants to take Giles on. He has no idea what's going on.
So they are dating.
Which
came up last episode. We're like, what the fuck? Is Giles so insecure? Anyway.
And he's super worried about it being a date that he doesn't know where they're going. And
I don't know what to wear.
Yes.
How am I going to know what to wear? Do you own anything else, Giles? Well, no. Oh, and then fucking Miss Calendar makes a really funny double entendre. Did you get this as one of your quotes of the day?
I did not write it down.
Okay. He finally agrees to let it be a surprise what they're doing. And he's like, very well, I put myself in your hands. And Miss Calendar says, sounds like fun. Oh!
Yep.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah?
I have a question here,
Making it sexy right out of the gate.
I have a question here, though, about Giles, his character. And why wouldn't he, as a character, be more adventurous? He slays vampires for a living.
Maybe he's trying to settle down. Maybe he's had too much excitement.
Okay, maybe, but
maybe he's got PTSD.
He plays off as some very anxious individual, but
yeah,
it doesn't fit.
As Ethan said in the last episode, oh, they think you're some sniveling little tweed-clad prat or some shit like that. Yeah. And he certainly does play that part, but we know he's got some mad confidence and mad skills in there.
Yeah, and does he think everyone's a rube? Like, is he playing everyone?
I don't know.
And to what extent?
I don't know.
It brings some interesting questions.
I think he might just be a more poorly written character than we like to believe.
Yeah, that's possible.
Like, they just happen to hire the exact right person to give 3 dimensions to that character.
Yeah, you know what? And he's an amazing enough actor to pull it off.
Yeah.
So yeah, that tracks. That tracks.
Yeah.
So anyway, Buffy comes up and is talking to Giles about last night. She lies to him and says it's uneventful. And he's like, well, maybe you need to take a night off. Holy shit! Holy shit! He's
Right?
like, maybe you need to take a night. For the first time ever
In the whole
Giles
series.
is fucking reasonable.
Yeah. We're almost halfway through season fucking 2.
I maybe need to take care of my Slayer so she doesn't get herself killed. The first fucking time he's like, no, you need to go back out there and work.
Well, you know, I mean, most jobs won't even give you a week off until you've worked for them full time for at least a year.
Right, but like he's actually being super fucking reasonable.
Yeah.
About fucking time.
Cool. So, classroom. We cut to the classroom.
Yep. And she's...
Cordy. Fucking Cordy.
Oh, Buffy and Willow are passing notes in class. Oh, the days before texting.
Well, a lot of teachers would take away your phone in high school classes nowadays anyway, unless they're too lazy. So I got a quote of the day from Cordelia here. She's talking about Marie Antoinette.
Yep.
She's
She
like,
sympathizes so hard with Marie
way
Antoinette.
too hard. She's like, she worked really hard to look that good, and people just don't appreciate that kind of effort. She cared about them. She was going to let them have cake. I'm like, wow, you're just as out of touch with the people as Marie Antoinette was.
Right.
That's special.
Oh, man.
That's cute.
It's good. It's good. And that's it. That's all we see of Cordy is that scene. That's
you're
it.
right.
She's not in the rest of the episode.
Xander's face was priceless.
He was literally staring at her the whole time she's
Just
talking.
wasn't even trying to cover it up. Cordelia was oblivious. Classic Cordy.
They do an interesting thing here with the conversation between Buffy and Willow because they're passing back and forth the notes about Drew.
Yeah.
And the last note you see is Willow saying maybe she's a vampire.
Yeah.
And they cut to them walking out of the class and they're continuing the conversation like there was no break whatsoever. Mm-hmm. It's an interesting little, I don't know, trick to me where you're reading the conversation, then all of a sudden the conversation continues in spoken.
Yeah, that was fun. I had to turn that back a couple times. Honestly, mostly because I wanted to get the Marie Antoinette quotes from Cordy, but also...
And Willow. You suck at this moment, Willow, because obviously Buffy doesn't want to bring up Angel bullshit.
Buffy was trying to hide the situation from Xander because she knew how he would react.
And guess what?
He did.
He reacted that way.
That's how he reacted. Yeah, he's extraordinarily predictable.
He says, oh, well, if Angel's acting out, I didn't write down his actual quote, but if he's acting out, that gives me a happy.
Oh, yeah.
I am tired of Xander and his happies.
Yeah.
Xander doesn't need any more happies.
We're also over Xander's fucking happies. Okay?
Yes.
Like, I was happy to meet Ford in the first couple of scenes he was in.
But, no, the very first moment we meet Ford, Xander's response is basically wanting to whip it out and compare sizes.
Yeah.
Immediately. Mm-hmm. Do you have to have a pissing contest with every other fucking male ever?
Yeah.
Xander?
You already lost her to Angel. Like,
right?
You're lucky you haven't lost her as a friend yet.
For fuck's sake, he even, he understands that he lost her to Angel and accepts that, but doesn't want her to be with Angel, but then doesn't want her... What the fuck?
Yeah, and so not only is he drooling over the news that Angel is allegedly cheating on Buffy, but now we get to deal with him being pissy about Ford too. This could either be another really bad nice guy Xander alert, or this could actually be really fucking good. It kind of fizzled out and was neither.
Yeah, they took it nowhere.
Thank
fucking God they took it
seriously.
Dig this. Dig this. Sorry you had to wait. fire, beheading. Hurry up, sweet dreams. Sunlight. Hurry up, sweet dreams. Cold water, usual. Oh yeah, I hit him. With what? A desk.
But Ford actually started off seeming like a pretty reasonable human being. He had manners. He seemed to have self-respect. He wasn't drooling all over Buffy. She seemed to respect him as a human being.
Yeah. And like they've known each other since 5th grade. There was a funny bit here because apparently Buffy wanted to date him in 5th grade, and he said no because he was a grade ahead of her.
It wasn't so much that he said no, so much as she said he wouldn't give her the time of day.
Right. And so the funny bit here where she's talking about how he wouldn't give her the time of day, and she stayed up all night in her room listening to the Divinals song "I Touch Myself."
Yeah.
And her delivery of this line is amazing because there's a pause and then she's like, I didn't know what it meant.
So we get a pretty funny moment later based on that. Like, even with all of Xander's obnoxious nice guyness,
Yep.
I still enjoyed his line. Ford even has the manners to give the obligatory line, so if you guys already have plans, would I be imposing? And actually seems to mean it.
Yep.
Which is fucking special in and of itself.
Yeah.
And then Xander's like, only in the literal sense, which, I'm sorry, that's funny.
It is.
Funny is funny.
It is.
So,
and then just as Ford and Buffy leave, because Buffy's going to take him to registration or some shit.
Yeah.
And
what kind of high school has a registration office?
I have no idea.
This place operates way more like a community college.
It does. They're all 20 anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the moment where when we were recording and I started laughing and you knew where I was for once.
Oh, you mean when we were taking notes?
Yeah, when we were watching the episodes, I started laughing because did you write down exactly what Willow says?
I got
here?
the last part of what Xander said. He said, doesn't she know any fat guys? And Willow's like, oh, that's what that song is about. I'm like, oh my God, Willow.
It's like, Willow,
That's
the line is literally, when I think about you, I touch myself, for fuck's sake. You want to talk about a song giving you the happies.
Like, you guys, this song's totally giving me the happies. Right in my ghoulies. God. I'm talking downstairs, you guys. Like, ruh-roh, Shaggy.
Oh, God. Whatever you do, Shaggy, don't involve peanut butter. Shaggy's a stoner. All I'm saying is Scooby and Shaggy have a weird relationship.
Oh, God. He is the kind of douchebag that would try that.
Poor dog.
Oh. Ew.
There's the real Scooby Snack. And for once, I took it to the dirty place.
You're fired. Why you gotta take this to a sexy place, Rex?
I thought you seemed to have so much fun doing it. I wanted to try it for once.
It feels good, doesn't it?
It does.
Welcome to the dark side.
No wonder you do it all the time.
Excellent.
Oh, man. And then we cut to...
Fucking savage.
Then we cut to the bronze.
Bronze.
Bronze. And I don't know about you, but the lighting seemed very different at the bronze this time. It seemed much brighter and, lit.
Sure. I wasn't paying any attention to the lighting. I mean, I noticed some way too extra shadowy lighting later, but didn't notice any bronze lighting differences.
But for some reason, Ford, Xander, and Willow are at a pool table when Buffy shows up. Why Buffy didn't go there with Ford?
I don't know.
Apparently they ran into Ford and the three of them wanted to hang out.
Yeah, also back off, guys. You need a little more space than that to play pool.
Yeah. Yeah. They were all really crowded around there.
Yeah.
Also not very good at pool by what I saw.
Yeah, bleh.
And of course, Angel's there. And
Of course he's there. I swear. He lives in the rafters in that place. Just hangs from them like a bat.
We established way before, he lives super close.
They didn't show us where his apartment is. His apartment could be in that building for all we know.
Maybe it is. We know it's underground. Maybe it's underneath. Maybe he's like the Phantom of the Opera. He's the vampire of the Bronze.
Yeah.
There's the spin-off series. They should have taken it that way.
Yes.
Yes, they should have taken it that way.
They should have J.R.R. Tooken.
Fuck you.
So they're at the Bronze.
And Buffy, she even outright... okay.
Use your words, Rex.
Angel and Buffy, you two fuckers, really need to understand what a fucking relationship means and how healthy communication works. How are you two not fucking talking to each other?
Right?
They don't say shit to each other that is remotely informative up until like 2/3 through the goddamn episode.
Well, and then, yeah.
She asks Angel what he did all night. He lies and says he was home.
Okay, yeah, this is the spot where he lies, where the initial lie happens. Yep. He lies about having met with Drusilla.
Yep.
Which there was nothing to fucking lie about.
What the fuck? Yeah, why the fuck, Angel? Aren't you just being like, hey?
Even if he has an ulterior motive, still, the better way to handle that would be like, I'm trying to get rid of Drusilla and Spike.
Yeah. Or be like, yeah, I was out fucking walking around last night. Nothing really happened.
I ran into this vampire chick that I happened to sire. And we had words.
But more importantly, as soon as he lies, why does she not fucking call him out on that shit?
Yeah.
What the fuck? You two are in a relationship, apparently.
Well, I mean, so Ford had a fun quote here. Buffy was getting pissy because he was telling stories about when they were in school together.
Yep.
And he was like, you can't touch me, Summers. I know all your darkest secrets. And Xander's like, care to make a small wager on that?
Yes. And you know what? Xander, you'd have lost.
Right? And
you
so
lost.
And so Buffy says, I'm going to get a drink. Ford, try not to talk. And so I'm like, wait just a goddamn second. Why couldn't she have said something like that to Xander forever ago?
Right?
She's already trying to shut this guy up. He's not the one that needs to be shut up most of the time.
Xander just needs a ball gag.
Right? Anyway.
Hey, got your steak. Hey, got your steak.
Buffy is obviously upset about Angel, so
Buffy... Angel's already feeling insecure about Ford.
Oh, God. And so Buffy and Ford leave the Bronze to go for a walk.
Yeah, the insecurity in this episode is fucking palpable.
Oh, God.
You get some insecurity. You get some insecurity. Everybody gets some insecurity.
Everybody.
Insecurity for
You know
all.
who's not insecure in this episode for once? Willow.
Yeah, you're right. She is the least insecure.
I'm sorry, but if Willow is the least insecure in your episode, you're all doing something wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
But anyway, they go for a walk, and Buffy hears a vampire and tells Ford to go back and get her purse. She poorly lies, and then runs around the corner to fight some vampire. And Ford, who goes 5 whole fucking feet away, turns around and like casually walks up to see Buffy killing the vampire.
Yeah, I'm like, is Ford a complete twit or is he deep undercover? Turns out both.
Yeah, and Buffy can't lie to save her ass.
No,
apparently.
she's terrible.
Like,
Ironically.
Woman, you have been slaying vampires for years now. Like, you'd think you'd at least have some fucking practiced goddamn speech
Yeah.
about how to deal with when people see you slay a vampire. But no, the lie's pointless. He already knows that she's the slayer. And
she doesn't immediately grill the fuck out of him about how he knows.
Right?
What is wrong with her?
She does tell Willow that he found out right before she got kicked out of school, but he doesn't tell her anything about how he found out. There's no question whatsoever about how he found out that information. And why the fuck? Oh, he knows my deepest, darkest secret. Yeah. Why the fuck wouldn't she?
Well, this is great. That's just such a load off.
Yeah.
What could possibly be wrong with that?
Right.
So, and she's like, yay, this means Angel doesn't have to feel threatened and Xander can be completely justified for hating him for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Because we immediately find out that he's the bad guy. And wow, shooting 3 for 3 here on the suspense and the lack thereof.
Yeah. They really need to work on that.
Yeah. It's probably more than 3 for 3 at this point.
Oh yeah.
Frankly.
So Ford goes to this club, which we later learn is called the Sunset Club.
Was it Sunset? I thought it was the Sunshine Club.
No, it was the Sunset Club.
Okay.
It would be even more stupid if it was the Sunshine Club because they're vampire worshippers.
Right. Yeah, no, I thought, well,
and there's this one nerdy fucking dude who's wearing a purple fucking cape.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, what better cover for a fake vampire coven than a really stupid opposite name. Anyway, yeah, that stupid ass fucking cape. Well, I mean, the whole thing's fucking stupid. There's one guy that's just hanging out in a upright coffin.
And what the fuck was the whole purpose of the scene where Ford is like mouthing the words to a fucking movie that's playing over his shoulder?
It's establishing that he's just a vampire geek and he wants to be a real vampire. That's all.
I don't know. I don't like Ford's character, especially past this point.
Yeah, whatever. It's still Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
He's just, a different kind. He's not a literal monster, but he's still a monster.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Anyway, moving on.
Because, whatever, we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah. Then we go to Willow's room.
Yes, we do.
And Willow is wearing fucking bunny slippers and a long t-shirt thing. It looked like a t-shirt, but it was like nightgown.
I totally missed the bunny slippers. Now I'm sad.
Really? How did you miss the bunny slippers?
You
were paying attention to other things, weren't you?
I wasn't looking at the slippers.
Okay. Anyway, all I want to say is, women out there, just wearing a t-shirt like that, it's the best lingerie you can.
That's fine.
T-shirt and socks, best lingerie you could possibly have.
You don't have to try too hard. That's all we're saying.
No,
we are easy to please.
Very much so. But no, Angel shows up.
He does,
and she has a fucking deck to her room.
She has
a fucking balcony,
separate entrance into her bedroom from the hallway.
And she invites Angel in, and he's super jealous of Ford and wants her to fucking Google him and look up information about him.
Was I the only one that really wanted Angel and Willow to hook up all of a sudden?
Yeah, kind of.
I was the only one, or you also wanted that?
I kind of agree.
All right, just checking.
Willow actually makes a fucking joke about that later, too.
Oh, yeah, she does.
But I wrote down...
We'll get to that.
I wrote down one of Angel's lines here for my quote of the day.
I think I got the same one. You go ahead.
She's basically, saying, oh, are you jealous? That sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And he says, 100 years hanging out, feeling guilty, really honed my brooding skills. And then she comes along. And I loved this bit because it really just... It actually made his character make more sense as to why he is this quiet, brooding, tortured figure, is because he fucking spent 100 goddamn years doing nothing but.
Yeah, that one line really kind of fleshed out his character more than everything else he's said or done this entire show.
And then he says, yeah, I guess I'm kind of a bit jealous.
Mm-hmm.
And Like this is the first moment that he truly feels three-dimensional and like an actual character with feelings and thoughts, and actually is worried because, and as he explains to Willow, his instincts are screaming that something's up with Ford.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong.
He's not. And so he's there to have her look something up on the net. Isn't that so quaint, the way they always call it? The net.
The net.
Nobody calls it the net. It was like, oh, that's the cool, kitschy, hip way to say it. The net. We're surfing the net.
I mean,
bruh.
You've watched Hackers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That's what the internet is, right?
I need to rewatch that, though.
It's so bad.
Yeah. Look at all us cool, hip, attractive kids doing computery stuff.
My favorite part with this whole scene, though, with Willow is Willow immediately finds something up with Ford, and that is that he is not remotely enrolled in school.
I got her line on that. She's
Okay,
like,
shoot.
As long as there's nothing weird about, oh, that's weird.
Yep.
The second she looks up Ford.
Takes her less than a minute.
Not even. Like,
She
15 seconds.
She obviously had that fucking page for her school bookmarked, for fuck's sake.
Right? I'm like, that's really smart that that's the first thing she looked up, too.
Yeah, and she knows her shit, man.
Yeah.
She knows her shit, but
So she found out that he's not even registered at Sunnydale High like he claimed to be, even though Buffy walked him to the registration office.
He must be really good at lying.
Like, also, students don't have to register themselves in high school. It was his dad's
their parents
job.
do that.
Exactly.
The parents do that.
Exactly. Anyway,
Hold that thought while I open my other beer.
sure.
There's a reason why you're here. The reason what's now. There's a reason why you're here. The reason what's now.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
I've had better.
Well, we've all had better.
So,
The last bit in this scene, though, is Willow or Angel says, "Hey, don't tell Buffy about it until we know something." And Willow's like, "What? But I have to conceal and lie."
yeah. And I knew that wasn't going to go well.
The next scene is just so good.
And thusly, it does not go well.
No.
Surprise.
But Buffy...
Are you
Buffy just
drinking
thinks it's
coffee again? And she's like, it makes me so jittery. I was like, you know what? Honestly, that was a good cover.
No,
That worked.
way to work with your strengths.
Yeah.
Just own it. Own it.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
And that's like 5 fucking seconds of the day that they're at the school during the day, and then all of a sudden it cuts to nighttime and they're at Buffy and Ford are walking around the school.
so there's this scene with Giles where he finds out that Ford knows about Buffy being the Slayer, and he's
Right. I forgot about this. Yeah.
very rightfully concerned about that.
He specifically is like, "Oh, you didn't tell him because you're trying to impress him, are you?" Oh my God, Giles. That's one of the dumbest things you've said yet.
Is it though? I mean, at least he's seeking reasons that he knows she's the Slayer, which is more than Buffy did.
You know, I didn't even think about it that way. Okay, I give Giles a little bit more credit here.
There we go. But still, he's not giving Buffy quite enough credit there. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right about that. But he's still trying to rationalize how the fuck he knows this and still doesn't get a good answer.
No, he really doesn't.
And he's visibly confused. So then it cuts to outside the school at night.
Yep. So they see some vampires and they chase after them. Buffy, they separate.
Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure
For
that they were vampires.
Fuck's sake, Buffy, why are you trusting this newbie all of a sudden to take out a vampire on his fucking own?
Ah, he brought his own steak, though.
So? She doesn't trust... doesn't trust Xander to fucking handle a vampire on his own.
She gave him a cross, though. So
Still, they end up separating. Buffy fights one vampire, and we get this bit where Ford has the other vampire pinned down and is like, tell me what you know and I'll let you live. But they do this really shitty fake out where he claims that he killed the vamp. Obviously, they can't let that tension go on.
Yeah.
They immediately, in the very next scene, destroy that tension.
Because you mean in the library?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're in the library. Buffy calls up Giles. He had established earlier that he gave Buffy Miss Calendar's beeper number because cell phones didn't exist yet.
I'm sorry, we jumped ahead. Because after he doesn't kill the vamp, Angel and Willow and Xander go to the Sunset Club.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Willow explains is that this is the only address they have for Ford. Mm-hmm. Like, his dad doesn't even fucking live in Sunnydale, apparently.
Yeah.
But Angel is expressing concern about the situation. Xander says, I'm going to have to go with Dead Boy on this one.
Well, so Angel says he leaves no paper trail. That's incriminating enough. I'm like, actually, no, lack of evidence is not evidence of anything. But right. Then Xander says, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Dead Boy on this one.
And he goes, can you just not call me that?
You know, I feel like these two could actually have a really fun friendship.
They would make such a good buddy cop film.
They would. The few interactions we've seen them have.
The whole delivery on this line says that this is a conversation they've had before.
Right?
Xander obviously calls him Dead Boy all the time, and he just deals with it.
And from the episode Reptile Boy, when he's like, calls him a freak outright, and he's like, oh, what's up, dude?
Yeah. And then
it's exactly like that moment again.
And then in that same episode, he's like, oh, that's how you want to party, I guess. And then later is like, that's how we party.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
No, that's a guy you want to party with.
Yeah, that's
Anyway, stick on this episode. Let's stay on this episode.
But the point is, the rapport that we're getting here between Xander and Angel, I want to see more of this.
I do want to see more of this, but we happen to know that, spoiler alert, Angel gets his own show, and we probably don't see all that much more of this.
That's not for another season and a half, though.
Yeah, so there's more opportunity. Anyway.
They get into the Sunset Club, and I just have to say, they get into the Sunset Club solely because they're like, we're friends of Ford. What kind of fucking secret club does not have a fucking password?
Yeah, at least.
What the hell? It angers me.
And then they're like super welcomed by everybody. They're like, oh, at least you're open to the idea.
I try to avoid going on and on about the very straightforward plot holes because it gets boring talking about the straightforward plot holes. But it irks me when writers of TV shows will leave something like this so blatant.
Yeah.
It shows lack of any sense of reality.
There's no good reason they should have gotten in that easily. No fucking reason. No good reason at all.
And making it a little more difficult to get in could add extra suspense and interest into the situation. But no, they want them in there because they want them in there, I guess. Then why show the fucking door like they did or something? I get they could have done better. They do this shit and they could do better. Pisses me off.
Yeah. Better being pissed on, Rex.
Yes.
Well, don't knock it till you try it. You fucking perv. You make me sick.
Hey, don't kink shame. Don't kink shame.
Yeah. I'm almost sorry.
Do not shame people for the weird shit that they're into.
I'm sorry, everybody. You can have all the golden showers you like.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
I personally think it's disgusting, but hey, to each their own.
Stop kink shaming, Rex.
I wasn't kink shaming.
You make me sick.
You make me sick. I have to look at your face.
And it's not a kink. That's just insert face joke here.
Yes.
Rex.
Anyway, so they're in this club and it's bad. The blonde chick, I wish they gave us her name.
I just wrote.
Did you know anyone like this in high school? I knew people like this in high school who like worshiped the like weird darkness.
I'm a Wiccan, and you know what?
She calls the vampires the lonely ones.
The lonely ones. Well, that's obviously something she got from the club. But what really bugged me was her argument that she's like, you should really just be open to the idea that some people's opposing viewpoints are valid.
Ugh. I'm sorry, but if your viewpoint is these demonic, blood-sucking murderers are fine people, and yes, I chose fine people for a fucking reason.
Fine people on both sides, Rex.
Yes.
Fine.
But there is...
Fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
Yep.
It's hard for me to say anything cool or witty or at all. I can usually make a few vowel sounds and then I have to go away.
I don't mean to interrupt your downward mobility.
Yeah, you're the Slayer
I
and
just wanted to
we're
tell
like the Slayerettes.
Oh, please.
There is a funny bit here because Angel's just outright rude to these people, as he should be.
Good.
But
And they're like, oh, no, you can't be
Xander's
rude.
like, maybe you shouldn't be so rude.
You can't be rude to them, Angel. Why are you being rude to them? He's like, I'm fucking done with this.
And he's like, well, they don't know anything about vampires. They don't know how they act. They don't know how they dress. And then just as he says they don't know how they dress, a dude walks up behind him wearing the exact same fucking outfit.
Yes. I mean, he had long hair, though, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Angel definitely wore it better. Not gonna lie.
I do want to say, though, that the shirt and jacket combination that Angel had on screamed Malcolm Reynolds. I'm a Firefly fan.
Okay.
If Firefly had been longer, this would have been a Firefly podcast.
Help me out. Who's Malcolm Reynolds? Mal.
Captain Mal.
It's Mal. Okay.
Christ, Josh.
I've only seen it once, and frankly, I didn't care.
We're done. This podcast is now done. Fuck you. We're done.
This has been Beer with
Stop
Buffy.
the recording.
I'm Josh.
I'm Rex, and fuck you for not
Go
liking
fuck
Firefly.
yourself. So in the next scene, we're in the library.
Miss Calendar took Giles to monster trucks?
Monster trucks.
Her excuse, I guess, is to try something new, but for fuck's sake.
Oh wait, just real quick, so
Understand your audience.
just when they're leaving the club, they're talking way too loudly.
Oh, yeah.
About knowing Ford and him hanging out with the Slayer.
Yeah, they are.
So yeah, monster trucks.
What the fuck?
And then Buffy finds a picture of Drusilla.
This is the moment where they find out that Ford lied because the vampire that he did not kill was in the library this whole time and steals a book.
Was she in the library the whole time, or
She was in Giles's office.
Okay, that makes sense because that's where she got the book from.
Yeah.
Giles is like, well, we'll have to do some research on that, and oh shit, there goes the book he was going to research.
And then she's like, oh, that was the vampire that Ford said that he killed. And it wasn't. Oh, he's lying.
Yeah. So the plot thickens again.
This is, from this moment on, I do want to say it's nice because Buffy has one up on Ford from this point on. Because Ford does not know that Buffy knows he lied.
But you don't know that I know that you know that she knows that they lied about
Exactly.
me lying, and that I know that you
Exactly.
also. So anyway, Miss Calendar had a fun catty line. She said,
Yes.
she said, at least someone in this school is reading. Wow.
And you know what?
All the faith.
I like that they carry on with this of like they have a written in reasoning behind why nobody is ever in the fucking library.
Right. Yeah. Just got to keep reinforcing that.
But we go from here to Spike's lair and the creepiest shit, Drew.
This was fun.
Oh my god.
You used to sing the sweetest little song. Why don't you sing for me? Don't you love me anymore?
The bird is dead,
The
Drew.
bird's dead, Drew. You left it in a cage and you didn't feed it, and now it's all dead, just like the last one. And then she gets all mopey and he's like, oh, I'm sorry.
We'll get you a new bird.
Epic. Epic. These are the moments that keep you coming back. So even fucking Spike's grilling Drew about her meeting with Angel.
Yeah.
Even Spike gets insecure this episode.
Hold on though. I have a question here because he knows that she went out.
Yeah.
Alone.
She's worried.
And he knows that she met with Angel.
Yeah.
Like that they were talking. Did he have her followed?
Well, no, I think it briefly somehow implied that one of the minion bullshit vampires from the Coven followed her or something. I don't think
I guess.
I don't think he had her followed. I think he heard it from the grapevine, basically. There's other vampires.
I wrote Spike is jealous, but my handwriting when I wrote jealous was really bad. That does not look like the word jealous at all.
You get some insecurity. You get some insecurity. Spike gets some insecurity.
Everyone is insecure.
And ironically, only moments later, Ford comes in and he's like, the security around here is terrible. Because there's no security on the emotions or the door locks.
Ford is really fucking lucky here.
Oh my God. He's not lucky. He's just getting completely played.
No, he's lucky in the grounds that Drew stops Spike from just outright killing him.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand why she does. That's literally the only reason he survives this, because Ford's like, you gotta say you have 30 seconds to tell me why you're here. That's the traditional response.
Spike actually played along for a second.
And Spike goes, I don't go for traditional.
No.
And grabs a hold of him. Drew stops him, and so he lets Ford go. Ford still makes him fucking say the goddamn line.
Yeah, it's really obnoxious.
Like, if there was any moment where you could tell Spike really wanted to murder the fuck out of him.
I mean, so he asks to be turned into a vampire, and Spike's like, I've only known you for 2 minutes and I can't stand you. I don't feature you living forever.
It's such a good line.
So, Spike's actually kind of interested because he might have a shot at Buffy, at killing Buffy.
Yep.
So we cut to Buffy's house. Angel tells Buffy about Drew and Ford being a dickbag.
Yep. Finally, like, they actually clear a lot of fucking air between them. There's a line here, brings up the relationship angle again. Buffy says to Angel, I love you, but I don't trust you. This whole concept sticks with me because you cannot be in love with somebody and love them without trusting them.
Sure.
Love requires trust.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. If you can't trust somebody, you should not love them.
Yeah, that's... no, I thought the exact same thing. Preach it.
But Angel actually approaches this the right way. He fucking finally comes clean. He explains that he was obsessed with Drew and fucking drove her insane with mental torture. Mm-hmm. And then the day after she takes her fucking vows to be a nun, he turns her into a vampire.
That's a special kind of fucked up.
That is one fucked up siring.
It'd be pretty rough living with those memories, definitely. Even though he didn't do it, it looked like him. It was in his body.
Right.
So,
and he does remember doing it.
Yeah.
Dig this. Dig this. Sorry you had to wait. Fire, beheading. Hurry up, sweet dreams. Sunlight. Hurry up, sweet dreams. And water, usual. Oh yeah, I hit him. With what? A desk.
And then the next scene,
Buffy's pissed.
Right, Angel explains that Ford is a vampire worshiper.
Yeah.
And thank you, Buffy, for just legitimately believing him.
Yeah, we didn't need to drag that out anymore.
But
Holy
the
shit.
next scene, they Michael Bay the fuck out of the next scene. Did you notice this? The camera in the next scene, when she walks up to Ford outside the school, the camera never stops moving.
It never it kept doing this rotating around thing, and I thought it did its job of showing the tension in the moment, because
it was a little much, though.
I thought it did its job. I thought it was tastefully done. You're a bad man, Rex.
That's possible. But I call it Michael Baying because Michael Bay refuses to have a camera that isn't moving.
Right.
Because Ford is like, hey, let's meet tonight. And he's like, she goes, okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
And
so
she obviously sees right through his shit.
So Buffy has this little moment with Xander and Willow. Yep. She's obviously super pissed because everybody went behind her back. But, and she kind of understands, but she doesn't. Anyway, I just thought it was funny that Xander was like, Angel was in your bedroom?
Ours is a forbidden love.
Yes, Willow. Yes.
Her delivery is fucking perfect. She doesn't miss a beat, and it's just spot on.
I think it was
Fucking
exactly
spot
what
on.
Xander needed to fucking hear, too.
Yes.
It's like, that's right.
And you know what?
Eat it.
In my headcanon, she doesn't explain any further. She just lets him go on thinking that she boned Angel.
Yep. Good enough for me.
So the next scene is
The Sunshine Club?
the Sunset Club.
I'm going to call it the Sunshine Club. It's a trap.
It's a trap. I wrote that too.
Shit. So,
It's a trap.
yeah.
Ford is talking about how he comes in and he's like, "Oh, everything's set. We're gonna be turned into vampires tonight."
Buffy follows him into the club, hook, line, and sinker. They close the special door behind them to lock everybody in. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna drink the Kool-Aid later tonight." That's nice. All right.
She has a really great line here. She says, "What I see is that right after the sun goes down, Spike and all his friends are going to be pigging out at the all-you-can-eat moron bar."
Yep. This is the fucking friend of Ford in the stupid fucking cape. It's like, "I think we should gag her." Buffy's like, "I think you should try."
Yes.
She's a non-believer. She taints us. Oh, nice response, asshat.
And then we find out that the reason that Ford wants to become a vampire is he has a brain tumor.
Ha! Hold on, quote of the day.
Shoot.
Buffy's yelling at Ford's friend. "Your only hope of survival is to get out of this pit right now, and my God, could you have a dorkier outfit?" I gotta back her up, D. You look like a big ninny.
And he does.
Yeah.
He's wearing a floofy shirt.
Oh, it was really dumb.
No one chooses to wear a floofy shirt.
It was so dumb. So, yeah, we find out. So, Spike's rallying the troops, and while we're waiting for them to show up, we find out that, oh no, Ford has a brain tumor. You're still murdering a bunch of people so that you can live forever.
It is a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It is a tumor.
It is a tumor, though.
It is a tumor.
Ford, I have something to tell you. It is a tumor. So, Spike promises Drusilla a special treat.
Yep.
Which is fun.
The door was rigged so that it could only be opened from the outside, so Spike and his gang show up.
They break in. Buffy uses Drew as bait.
Her line here is...
Not bait, but hostage.
Yep, her line here is fantastic. She says to Spike, "Let everyone out or your girlfriend fits in an ashtray."
Yeah. I liked that.
Great line.
Good line.
That is a great superhero one-liner.
It was very nice.
And the plan works. Spike lets everyone go except Ford. Ford was fighting with Buffy, and Buffy knocked his ass to the floor.
Well, and she's like, "And if the vamps come in and feed, I'm gonna kill you myself." And I was like, why are you waiting?
Right? Just fucking kill him now.
I don't know why she didn't just start fucking swinging like a claustrophobic the second they locked that door.
Maybe she thought that he knew some way out.
Right.
And was trying to, like, get that out of him. But no, there is no way out.
He's crazy. They're all crazy.
But everyone but Ford gets out of the basement, and...
You're the worst emo kids ever.
The worst emo kids. Buffy exits the basement and closes the door behind her. And Spike steps up to the door and he's like, "Where's the door handle?
Where's the knob?" That was great. And I didn't realize she'd locked Ford in there behind her.
Yep. Well, she had knocked him out earlier.
Yeah.
And then he was still in there.
So they got everybody else out. Didn't realize she left Ford, though.
And Ford says to Spike, "I kept up my end of the deal. It's not my fault you couldn't keep her here."
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing. And Spike goes along with it.
Yeah.
Spike holds his end of the deal.
Oh, that look on his face was fucking devilish, though. He was so pissed.
Sorry, to step back to the main interaction between Spike and Buffy when Buffy had a hold of Drew.
Sure.
We got a really good close-up look of Spike's face. Mm-hmm. Do you recall this? Mm-hmm. And it really, like, this was... Obviously, we'd seen his makeup done before. But this is the moment where, what is it about James Marsters' face and the makeup that they made him for his vamp look that works so much better than everyone else?
I think you're just imagining caressing his magical lips with yours.
I might have a man crush on James Marsters.
Nobody can blame you.
Right?
I'm not blaming you.
He's a pretty man.
He's a very pretty man. Much like myself, if I do say so.
Spike holds up his end of the bargain. I'm impressed. Like, he could have just snapped his neck and been done with it.
Yeah. Well, dude, the fucking look on his face. He was like, oh, you'll get what you want.
He knew exactly how it would play out.
But you're going to get fucked either way, kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because how it plays out is Buffy comes back the next day.
Cut to the graveyard.
Yep. Finds Ford dead, and Ford gets buried, and they're at the graveyard.
She's having a nice, warm, fuzzy conversation with Giles.
Yep. She's explaining how upset she is and everything, and he says, that's called growing up. I'd like to stop doing that now, okay? I know that feeling.
Right.
And then this is the moment where it pays off. We know that Ford actually got turned into a vampire because he pops out of the grave.
Yeah, I was like, hey, he did get turned.
And she spikes him. And the last bit here...
She staked him.
Sorry, she stakes him.
We don't want any confusion with the great James Marsters.
Yes, she stakes him.
I'm going to be leaving him another voicemail, letting him know that I'm sorry that you've disgraced him.
So Giles says to Buffy, well, I don't know what you want me to tell you. And she says, lie to me. And so he does. And
she says lie to me.
Yep, she says lie to me.
I was imagining Giles saying it for some reason.
Anyway. And his whole diatribe here is just hilarious because he's like, and the bad guys always win, and
nobody ever dies. And
the last line is, you're such a liar.
It was a fun moment.
It was a fun moment.
It was a beautiful moment.
I'm actually really annoyed that Ford died. I think they should have kept him alive, or as a vampire. Like, he should have been turned into a vampire and come back later.
Yeah.
As a vampire.
Yeah, they could have done that. That would have been interesting. I think
that would have been a great... Because then we have a vampire that shows up later that there's a backstory.
Right?
Behind him.
Instead of another random crony.
Exactly.
Whatever.
I think that would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Because the anguish and turmoil between the two of them when Buffy finds out that, he has a brain tumor and everything is really well done.
Mm-hmm.
And the anger that she expresses is really well done. And I think they could have paid that off on a whole nother episode.
But they didn't.
They didn't. They just killed him.
Oh well. Gur arg.
Is this from me? I must be ready. I need my strength.
Give me more!
Nights I shall walk in the earth. Hold on. You've got something here, huh?
So, Josh, did you like the episode?
I've had better.
Yeah.
I've had worse.
Yeah.
But I've had better.
Definitely we've had worse. There were some really bad moments in the beginning of this episode, but it panned out well, I think.
I mean, there were some fun moments. There were some good lines. It was more quotable.
Yeah.
Definitely more quotable than the last few episodes.
Yeah, definitely. So, what's your quote of the day?
Well. No, I'm not choosing that one. Very well, I put myself in your hands. Sounds like fun. Hand job. Anybody? Nobody? So not that one, though. This is Willow's quote, but it's wrapped up with a Xander line. So Xander says, Angel was in your bedroom? Ours is a forbidden love.
It's such a good line.
There it is. That's my quote of the day.
I have to go with the great superhero one-liner of the episode, which is "Let everyone out, or your girlfriend fits in an ashtray."
Nice.
It's exactly the quip that you want from the hero.
Yeah.
The delivery's perfect.
Absolutely. Cool. I like that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. All right. Your apartment's okay, Rex.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
It needs more shit.
Yeah.
Like furniture.
Start smearing, buddy.
Not that kind of shit.
We can invite the neighbors over. Let's all smear some poo on the walls together.
So this has been Beer with Buffy.
Come on, Drew.
Oh, God. Subscribe, like, share. Find us on iTunes. Give us a review. Special shout out and thanks to Ben Alexander for the music in this episode and every episode. This has been Beer with Buffy. I'm Rex.
I'm Josh.
Have a good night. Did I forget anything?
We forgot to buy Drew a new bird.
You are the Slayer. Lives depend upon you. I make allowances for your years, but I expect a certain amount of responsibility, and instead of which you enslave yourself to this cult.
You don't like the color?
You have a sacred birthright. You were chosen to destroy vampires, not to wave pom-poms at people.
Why can't you people just leave me alone?
You are the Slayer.
Go ahead. Prepare me.
I'm a watcher. I haven't the skill.
Oh, come on.
By appealing to your common sense. Werewolves, incubi, succubi, everything you've ever dreaded was under your bed, but told yourself couldn't be by the light of day.
One gal in all the world.
Common sense.
One gal in all the world.
Was a bit, British, wasn't it?
Wait, what have we done? Why are we watching this?